Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Okay, so today we are doing a very fun video. I'm going to make a spread for a color. I did this with green before, but this time I want to do red, and we're going to start over, and I'm going to start with the first color of the rainbow. So here is my blank spread that I'm going to be filling today, and here are some ideas for what I'm going to do, and then this is the final little thumbnail. But the goal is to use as much reds without it being orange or pink, because I do want to make an orange and a pink spread, but I don't have a ton of reds, so we're gonna just pray, and I'm gonna maybe use crayons and acrylics and watercolor and all the stuff to hopefully get enough reds to fill this thing. Hey guys, it is voice over me. I started off by just sketching off where I wanted everyone and where I wanted everything. It was really annoying because I thought that my iPad was charged so I could look at references, but it was not. So I had to reference the pictures I drew from a reference, and honestly I think that this Powerpuff Girl was really cute, and then I realized that I cranked her neck all weird, and I was like, oh, so yeah, her neck's all cranked. Other than her face is cute and all that, it's just yeah, I just placed it wrong, but yeah. And then next I did the Angry Bird. I was gonna do it more from the movie, how he's elongated kind of, but then I saw this person do a drawing that was more I think it's supposed to be him as a baby or something, but he's just kind of chibi, I guess. And then I guess it is a controversial opinion, but I love turning red. I said that, and my boyfriend and my sister were like, no, that's a terrible movie. And then I guess there's also a bunch of parents who are not letting their kids watch it because she shakes her butt a little bit, but she does so as a panda, not as a little girl. Do you know what I mean? And it's because she's taunting her mom. So I don't think it's not sexual. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? If you were a parent, would you let your kid watch it still? Then I did a little mushroom. It was supposed to kind of be like Toad from Mario Kart, but I didn't make him look very much like Toad. And then I did Spider-Man, which I wish I did a little more time on because he doesn't end up turning out that great. So I needed something to fill the background, and I just flipped over to wherever this is. But I decided to go with strawberries and water. I meant water? What? I'm getting all confused, guys. I meant hearts. And then I also was I really wanted plaid. I don't know why. Red always reminds me of picnic tables plaid, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to do plaid. So at first I was ruler and paintbrush. That, what could go wrong with that? There's no way, this is gonna go great. And at first, it was fine. It was really hard to, get around the characters and stuff, but, it went okay, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I do struggle with that, and the background was probably the hardest part, but I think it turned out the best, honestly. The characters, I don't know, I don't love. Yeah, so the watercolor, dragged right there, and the lines were, really uneven, and I was what the heck do I do? So, to hopefully not have the same issue, I decided I would use masking tape. This way I can just kind of get a little better feel and make sure the lines are definitely straight, and I made sure to push them down enough so that the watercolor wasn't leaking under. I forgot how messy watercolor can be because, yeah, the water gets places, you know what I mean? It can be really messy. So I decided to do this. I didn't measure how far away each tape was from each other, but I think I did a pretty good job at spacing them evenly. So yeah, after that I just went straight in with the color, and it was great. Well, I made sure to protect the page. I realized that the sketchbook is not for watercolor, and in the past I have used ELO sketchbooks, and that sketchbook does a lot better with watercolor than this one. This one, the page just turns super stiff, and I don't know, warped, I expect, but I don't know how to explain it. It's just super stiff and crinkly, if that makes sense. It's not a watercolor paper though, so like no hate to the sketchbook because they weren't advertising as a watercolor sketchbook. Speaking of that though, I tried gouache today for the very first time in my art class. Turned out absolutely terrible. Like, it doesn't spread. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't go far, and I thought because it was acrylic and watercolor, like, it would. And yeah, it was not a lot of fun, and I needed multiple layers, so my blending was all wrong. I honestly didn't plan, like, what I was gonna do for, like which mediums. I said in the beginning that I was just kind of like, I'm gonna use acrylic, I'm gonna use watercolor, I'm gonna use alcohol markers, I'm gonna use crayons, all these things. I end up only using acrylic, like the markers, and then watercolor and alcohol markers. I don't know, I didn't feel like getting acrylics out. I feel like I would like gouache if I learned how to use it a little better, and if, you know, it wasn't so messy, because when I had to clean that tray, it was so annoying, and it also like goes by so fast. Maybe I was just applying it too thick. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a lot thinner than it was because it's mixed with watercolor, and I just had expectations and didn't meet any of those, I guess. But it's okay. I want to try more. There's also oil paints in that class I think would be a lot of fun. I don't know how I feel about oil paints though, because they are like really slow drying, and that's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. I'm really, you'll see in this that like, I don't know which layer it is, but one of these layers for the watercolor, I take off probably a little too early, and I could have definitely left it. So yeah, the peeling of the tape is so nice. It is so beautiful. I left that one on normal time and then I sped up the rest, but I love, like, look at that. It's so clean. I'm so glad I went with the tape and I didn't just try to freestyle the rest of it. Like, honestly, that would have been like a giant mess. And then I went in on the other side because plaid, you have to overlap the lines. I didn't want this to also be like a dark red. I wanted it to be a light red, which I know is like, you know, pink, but I tried my very best to not make it like the pink you typically see and make it more like a red, like a light red rather than a pink, if that makes any sense. I really tried my hardest doing that. I hope I succeeded, but yeah. So I just kind of like, because I didn't wait for the watercolor to be fully dry, I just took water and I just kind of used the water, the stuff that I already put down, and kind of dragged it, and I thought it worked really nice just to make a light color, because at first I was gonna just make a light color, but then I had to keep mixing it because I don't know, it was just annoying. So I really like that I did this. I also think the brush I used was not for me. I love round brushes, but I used a chisel brush. Yeah, so after that, I wanted to darken up these squares, because if you look at plaid, where they overlap is a little darker where the stripes overlap. So I was trying to like darken those up, and yeah, that was the goal. I do think that I lift the tape a little bit and realize that this isn't dark enough, and so I have to go in with another color. Yeah, it was just kind of annoying because I really wanted to make sure it was dark enough so I didn't have to retape everything, because that would be heavily annoying. Yeah, and because I didn't want to add more tape, I kind of was just like really trying to stay in the lines and just being really careful about it. Yeah, so I checked to see if that was okay, and it was barely any darker. So I decided to go in with a even darker color and kind of try to use that to maybe make it actually dark enough to notice. My paper is not watercolor paper. I don't even know if it's multimedia, but it was not. You can kind of see that it was wrinkling and it wasn't holding up very nice. So I was like, and now like even when it's done, it's like all crinkly and like, I don't know. This sketchbook, I love it. I don't think it's the best for me. I probably won't repurchase it just for the simple fact that I can't use multiple different types of media on it. Yeah, I think that the ELO sketchbook is what I'm gonna go with next time. But first I have to finish the sketchbook, which I don't know why, but it's been so difficult for me to do. Real quick, I would just like to say I'm going to do orange next. What do you think I should add in orange? What are some orange characters? Because I'm actually having kind of a hard time like thinking about orange characters to do. And yeah, it's kind of difficult. I was really happy with this background and how the plaid turned out, but I wanted to go a little step further and add those lines that plaid has. I decided to go with a maroon color to kind of have a difference between the warmer reds and the cooler reds. I thought that this could add a little more contrast, and I felt like that is kind of what our piece needed. I think there's a lot of things I could have done better on this page. I think I could have like taken my time a lot more with it. I kind of wish I had, but it was also really fun to just sit down and do. It didn't take me very long, and it was just a lot of fun. I was just listening to music and, drawing. So I was really happy with it, and I like these spread videos because they're really fun to do. But I am just warning you that like the art isn't the best. It's mainly just fun. I also kept forgetting that I was filming, and so I would turn it in all these weird positions and be like, oh yeah, I'm filming. I should probably get more in frame. So then I started coloring, and I really like how this marker looked. It's so smooth. Doesn't that tickle your brain? Oh my gosh, it's so good. But it was really annoying because I did all of this, okay? And I think I get most of the coloring involved in this, but all the lining was cut out, and it was really annoying because after filming this part, I looked at my camera and I saw that my phone was dead, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm glad that I didn't lose all of it, but I was still really annoyed that I lost a lot of it because the lining honestly was so satisfying to do. I think overall I did really good with using a lot of reds, like a lot of different shades of red, and that is a really close orange red. I think it can qualify as red. There was nothing I could go more red without it like blending completely into the background, and then also we have like Blossom's hair is not red, it's orange, you know what I mean? I probably could have saved her for orange, to be honest, but I just really wanted to include her in this. So there's a little pink and orange on her, but it's okay. It's okay because the Angry Bird, May, Spider-Man, they're all just like completely red. So it's okay. Yeah. I think this is kind of the moment I realized that I wasn't doing very well on this artwork, and I wasn't, but like I was just having a lot of fun, and I was just like, you know what? We're chilling. It's fun. I'm having a good time creating, and honestly, that's what it should be about. I have a hard time filling this sketchbook because I have 2 art classes, and while that does keep me motivated to create art, it's also like I'm creating art all day outside of the sketchbook, and then to also have to go in and do it in the sketchbook. So I do plan things in the sketchbook, but I need to get back to like actually doing spreads like this because I love sketchbooks. Like, it is my favorite form of art, is just sketching in a sketchbook. And just putting colors randomly on a page is so fun. So I could have definitely tried a little harder on Spider-Man. I definitely made his eyes wonky, and I just definitely made his neck too wide, and there's just a lot of things that are wrong with him, and I really wish I took my time because I absolutely love and adore Spider-Man, but I really did not take my time at all with him, so that was annoying. Yeah, it's about to end. It's about where my phone died. So I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see any of the lining, and it's going to kind of suck. But I will see you with the final product. Okay guys, here is the final product. I hope you guys like it. I think it's really good as a whole. I think it's really fun, and I don't know, I like the background. I'm a sucker for plaid. I think it's so cute. I don't love wearing it, but I think it's really, really cute. It's a cute pattern and stuff, but yeah, so here's the final product. I think she was really cute. Like I said, the outlining for it was deleted accidentally. So yeah, and she was really, and they were really satisfying to line, and I was like, this is gonna make for a really satisfying video. And then my phone's like, you thought. So I didn't get it on camera, but as I said, maybe not 100% multimedia. Let me see if it says multimedia. Oh, I don't think that says. Did I leave anything in the front? Oh, it says ink, pen, charcoal, and light watercolor. Well, this wasn't light. Was not light, so I guess that's on me, not on the sketchbook. So yeah, I hope you guys really like this. I really like it as a whole. It was a lot of fun to do. As I said, it's more fun rather than like actually cute. So I am gonna do orange next. I don't know if that's gonna be my next video, but that's gonna be the next color spread. So please let me know any colors that, or any characters or anything that you want to do. Immediately, all I can think of is Darwin from Amazing World of Gumball. I'm kind of struggling to think of any other orange characters, so I need some help on this. And then also quickly, before I say goodbye, I would like to show you the last part or the final product of my CD drawing. Not a lot of people saw that video, so if you didn't, you should go watch it because I had a lot of fun trying to design this. Yeah, so here is the final product. This is the album cover. I don't love how the colors turned out. They dried a lot darker and less vibrant than, you know, they were on my palette. But here's the CD. I think they look really nice, and I lined this on the borders with the silver, and then I lined this on the border with silver, so I really like it. And then I added like a few, sorry, I added a few songs, and then down here where I'm covering is a concert they're playing. And it's in my hometown, which is why I'm covering it, but I'm going in May, so I'm really, really excited. We're finally, we're done with this video. We're done. We are done. So come back for next time. It will probably be an orange spread. It might be a different type of video. I really want to recreate my first ever sketchbook, but I need to buy like a similar sketchbook to it. So let me know if that is something you would like to do or like to see, I guess. Bye guys.